What is going on, YouTube? Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. Welcome to episode 9 of our AlltheMods10 playthrough. If you've been following the series, welcome back, and if you're new to the channel, welcome. If you haven't already, please feel free to check out the previous episodes to catch up on all of the progress we've made so far. I think going into this episode, what we're going to do is craft up this pocket storage and this pocket storage unit tier 4. And I think what we're going to do going forward is just work our way from the outside and then do all of the crafts in the middle to actually make the star at the end. But I think we'll just start from the outside, work our way in. So we're going to start with the pocket storage and make the pocket storage unit tier 4. And then we'll move down to the pneumatic craft and build this aerial interface. And then from there, we'll move down onto occultism and so on and so forth. So let's get straight into it. All right, so for the pocket storage, it actually seems pretty easy to craft. So let's go ahead and see if we can actually just make this up right now. I think all we need is a chest. So let's go into the house. Maybe we can just craft some basic chests, craft up that pocket storage, and then we can throw this in and craft up this pocket storage unit tier 4. It looks like we need to upgrade actually to the tier 2, and for that we need some more chests. So we'll craft up the tier 2, the tier 3, and finally the tier 4. And I don't think we actually need to use this right now. I mean, honestly, it's not terrible, but we have our ME system and we have our backpack already, so we probably don't need this. I wouldn't mind holding on to it for now just to kind of play around with it as we progress, but I think for now we probably won't use this too much. And if you hold shift over it, it says you can hold 64 different items and up to, what is that, 1,048,575 of each, which is pretty sweet. And it says it automatically absorbs like items on pickup and it voids the excess. And then you can sneak and right click a chest to deposit the contents, or you can sneak and left click a chest to withdraw the matching content. So I think it's actually pretty neat. We can kind of use that as, I mean, this would have been a lot more useful early on for sure before we had the wireless universal terminal. But I think for now, I mean, this isn't pretty bad, so we'll carry this for the time being. So now we got that. So let's move on to some occultism. So after getting the pocket storage, I think the next thing I would like to do is actually just make some more farms for the mystical agriculture seeds, because there's a ton of, I want to have at least like one of almost every single seed that we can have, just because I know that there's just a lot of things that I'm seeing that we're gonna need, and it's like pretty much a little bit of everything. And so I think I just want to kind of switch around how I'm doing the farms and switch up the number of seeds we have and do that. So I think what we're gonna do is make 3 more mystical agriculture farms, and we're probably gonna also end up dumping or inputting our source into the ME system and maybe switching up this farm just a little bit. So I think the first thing we'll do is we'll take a wireless connector and hook it up right here, or place it down right here, and we will bind it to our ME controller. And then what I want to do is just attach some import buses on these source jars. We'll attach an import bus to this source jar, and then we'll attach import export buses to these 4 source jars. And we'll attach all these with Fluix cable to the wireless connector. And now we can see we have 73,000 source stored in our ME drive. And I think what we'll do, instead of having the import export buses here, is we will just have export buses going into them, because I want them to be stocked full with source at all times. Now what we're going to do is take a source jar, and we are going to right click to set source down as what we want to export on each of the export buses. So now these will all be constantly filled with source, and this one will be constantly feeding source back into the ME system. And this will keep our source topped up while we aren't using it. It will just be sitting here while this just collects all the source and imports it into our ME system. All right, so the next thing we're gonna do is build up some more farms. So we're gonna build 2 more right up here, right next to these ones, and then we're gonna build 1 more down here. And I guess we can just let this horse run free. He won't go too far, I don't think. So we're going to craft up some Infernium gemstones and use those to make Infernium growth accelerators. And then what we're going to do So what I'm doing now is basically digging out underneath all of the farms, because I'm going to start placing a bunch of these Infernium growth accelerators below them, and then as we progress we'll move on to the higher tiers and add those on. But for now we're just going to start with the Infernium growth accelerators. And I think we got them all dug out now. Now that we have each of these holes dug out just a little bit, as you can see, there's 4, and then the 5th one is right here. We didn't dig out underneath where we're collecting our source, because we're honestly doing pretty good. We have 420,000 source stored right now. So what we can do now, move this over and place down these growth accelerators. I think now that that's all set up, what we're gonna do is just start replacing some of our seeds down and kind of organizing our farm the way we want it to be.
So after finishing up with the farms, I was taking a look at how big our house was and compared to the amount of chunk space I was taking up. And what I wanted to do was expand the house to fully utilize all of that chunk space. So I utilized the chunk grid lines, and so I utilized those to expand our house quite a bit. And the goal here was just to be able to have a house that was big enough to kind of support having all of the different machines and altars and all that special stuff that we're going to be utilizing during this mod. And I just realized that we were going to need a lot more space. So enjoy some base expanding.
Alright, so we're back the next day. There was a couple things I had to go do yesterday, but we are back. And I think what we're gonna do is just finish up our house expansion, and then we're just going to move a couple things around, definitely spread things out a little bit more, and then we will go from there. Alright, so we pretty much got everything moved around. We put our whole setup as far as our applied energistics systems and our mechanism systems. We got it all along this side wall. Have the bed here in the corner with the other chests and barrels. We left this water collector exactly where it was. Moved the waystone and the teleport pad over here by this door, and we set up the Ars Nouveau pedestals and our mystical agriculture infusion altar over in this corner, and have the enchanting set up in this corner. Then I built this little spot under here, kind of to hide all these cables. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna expand our underground to match what we have above ground. So basically we're just gonna push this wall out further and this wall out. We got this side done, now we just need to do the other side. Alright, and the last thing I added down below here was just a little path to take to our nether portal. Here's kind of an overview of how the base looks now. Now that we got extremely sidetracked, we can get back to what we were doing before. Just making this occultism ritual. What in the world? Up with these guys. So the first thing we need to do is collect some of these demon's dream seeds. So we're gonna go around and just break this grass and see how many we can pick up. Alright, we should have enough now. And what we're gonna do is plant these down here. And we'll start getting this demon's dream fruit. Now what we're gonna do is take some of that demon dream fruit, take some stone, and grab us some flint and steel, and we'll go over to this corner. So we're gonna turn off our magnet. We're gonna throw down that demon's dream fruit and light it on fire. Now we got some spirit fire, and the next thing we're gonna do is craft a dictionary of spirits. And to do that you need just some demon's dream seeds and just a regular book will do. We'll grab that. Alright, and I'm actually following a guide right now, and it looks like we need andesite, diamonds, feathers, oak saplings, black dye, and books that we were going to throw in this fire. Looks like I got some other stone. Some spirit attuned gems. Some awakened feathers. Some purified ink. And some taboo books. So now what we need to do is place down a bunch of these oak saplings that we threw through the spirit fire, and then we have to mine them while we're under the demon's dream fruit effect of eating it, and I'll kind of show you guys what that does right here. Just make these all grow. All right, and now that we have used bone meal on all these, we'll eat the demon's dream fruit, and you see the trees all turn purple. Now we just have to mine all of them up, and you see while we did that we got these otherworld logs. So let's mine up the rest of this. Alright, so it looks like we got all of them. Craft up a sacrificial bowl and a golden sacrificial bowl. Alright, so we're gonna make this occult ritual. So in order to do that, we're gonna need 4 sacrificial bowls, some silver, some gold, and these glass lenses, and this book of binding. So now we're gonna go and look at Azevious spectral compulsion, and we're gonna show the multi-block preview. I'm not sure how we rotate this, so let's place that right there. And this is where we're gonna do our ritual. So we'll place our golden sacrificial bowl in the middle, place some candles down, and we'll need some otherworld ashes and burnt other stone. So to get those otherworld ashes, we need to take our wood and burn some of it. And we need to take some of this other stone and smelt it. And now we can make some impure white chalk. And we need to make the pure white chalk, so we need to throw that impure white chalk through the spirit fire. Just throw that through, get the white chalk. And then we're gonna need some purple chalk, the impure purple chalk. We'll need white chalk, crushed end stone, and some obsidian dust. And to get that crushed end stone, we're gonna actually need to use this ritual to get a crusher spirit. Alright, so we're gonna place down the Aviar circle, take our white chalk and fill all this out. Now we're gonna make up some honey seeds, just because we're gonna need some candles, and to get candles you need wax. It's just a rabbit hole of things that we need. Alright, so we're gonna place these down, place them down right here. Now we should be getting this honey essence, which will give us honeycombs. And now we can craft candles. Then we just need the bowl. Now we're gonna place down these bowls. Alright, so we're gonna need iron, silver, copper, and gold. So we got those. Now we just need a book of binding foliate. So let's craft one of those. And then craft that. Put it in the middle. There we go. Now we got the foliate crusher. Alright, so now we're gonna take this silly little dude and we're gonna give him some end stone. He's gonna grab it. Just gonna push him back a little bit. And now he gave us some crushed end stone. Alright, so now we should be able to... It looks like we need some more impure white chalk. And now we got the impure purple chalk. We'll throw that through our fire. Now we got the purple chalk. And I'm not sure why this is gone now, but we should be able to fill in the outsides here. Yes, and now that is complete. So now we're gonna need some emerald dust to make the lime chalk and 2 bottles of enchanting. Just need 2 bottles there. Go crush this emerald. Use that emerald dust. And now we just need another book of binding. Let's make that. Put that in the middle. And we'll wait for this to be done. Alright, so now we got the research fragment dust. Now we should be able to make this impure lime chalk. We'll get our regular lime chalk. We're gonna need to do this Striger's higher binding occult ritual, and we're also gonna need this book of binding as well. So it looks like we're gonna need 8 bowls and 1 golden bowl. And this looks like it should be pretty easy to do. So let's get this outline down. Alright, so now we can place this down right here and we'll get started on filling it out. So we'll need some candles, need some light gray chalk. So to get that we'll need some calcite crushed, some silver dust, and iron dust. Looks like we actually don't have any calcite right now. So let's go see if we can find some. Looks like if we get stone seeds and amethyst seeds that we can actually make calcite that way. So let's do that. Just need 4, we'll do 8 stone, that for 1. Just need some infernium. Cook this up real quick. And we'll make the stone seeds. Now if we just take the stone essence and the amethyst essence, we can make calcite. And if we take that calcite, give it to this fella right here, he'll crush it for us. And we'll just need some silver dust and iron dust. And now we should... Alright, now we can make the light gray chalk, throw it through our fire. So now we can fill out the rest of this. And now we just need some skeleton skulls. Alright, and now we just need some purple dye, and we should be able to craft book of binding, and then pour that in the middle. Place the bowl, and we'll need 1 diamond, 1 gold, 1 copper, 1 silver. And then we'll need some soul sand. 1, 2, 3. And now we're making an empty soul gem. We just have to wait for this to be done, and we'll come back when it's done. Alright, and while we wait for that empty soul gem to finish crafting, let's take a look at this stable wormhole. Looks like this should be pretty easy to do. I believe we already have this up right here. Yep. So all we need to do is we need to craft this other stone frame and craft this wormhole frame, and we just need this book of binding, which we need some purified ink for. So let's get some more black dye. Oh, we need the wormhole frame. Oh, and it looks like soul gem is done. So now we got our empty soul gem, and that quest is done. But back to the stable wormhole, we need an ender pearl, 2 quartz, and this book of binding. So let's get this black dye. So don't need that. Now we can craft book. Now we just need an ender pearl and 2 quartz. Now place that down, these, and there we go. Now we're crafting our stable wormhole. And while we wait for that, let's take a look at the dragon familiar spawn egg. So it looks like this one will just need a block of cords. We'll need to actually place down another ritual. We'll need I'm not even gonna try to pronounce that. It's enthrallment. So let's take a look at that in the book. Should be this one. Oh, and it looks like we got that stable wormhole. And now the last thing we need for occultism is just gonna be this dragon's familiar spawn egg. So we just need to place, we're gonna need 4, and the golden bowl in the middle. So let's start out with the golden bowl. Looks like we need some more sacrificial bowls. And for this one, we're gonna need some yellow chalk, some light gray, which we have, some white, some lime, and some skeleton skulls, and then some candles. let's grab up these candles. Let's look at this yellow chalk. Just need some gold, some glowstone. Oh, that's actually, should be able to do that. We just need some gold dust. Let's get some gold dust real quick. All right, got the gold dust. Now we can make the impure yellow chalk, turn it into the regular one. And then we're gonna need a couple more of those skeleton skulls. Place these down. We're gonna need yellow, lime, white, yellow, lime, white, gray. Start with the lime, and then we'll go to the white. Then we'll do the yellow, and then lastly we'll do the light gray. Now it's complete. So now we're gonna need a lava bucket, a block of gold, gunpowder, flint and steel, gunpowder, flint and steel, and we're also gonna need some more of those bowls. And then we're gonna need a block of quartz, 2 obsidian, and a piece of coal. And then last, we're gonna need the Book of Binding Gin. And now, so now the last thing I just need to do is get a horse in here, which I really don't want to do my horse like that, but I can ride him and should be able to get him up into the house pretty easily. Let me just, oh, now we have to sacrifice the horse. Sorry, horsey, that felt terrible. But now you can see it's sucking up the item. Alright, so we got the dragon familiar. Now we're just gonna hit him with a mob swab. And then what we're gonna do is make this GM chicken. We're gonna make this GM chicken feed next. And we're gonna use it on a chicken. And now we got the dragon familiar spawn egg. So now we got everything we needed for the occultism mod for the AlltheMods star. And we'll save that for later. But that's where we're going to call it for today, guys. I really hope you guys enjoyed me diving a little bit into this occultism mod and the base expanding. If you enjoyed the video, please feel free to drop a like and subscribe. Drop a comment down below if there's anything else you want me to explore. And I'll see y'all in the next one.